Well, hey guys, welcome back to a very special Halloween edition, a review. This time we're taking a look at the Athearn SD70MACs. MSRP on these are $289.98, and I've got a few different schemes to look at. Now, the Halloween season always keeps me very busy because I've got a huge Halloween display outdoors. It's another hobby of mine, but that also brings a sense of fearlessness. I'm not scared of anything. I don't get scared or startled by anything Halloween related or any monsters or anything that goes bump in the night. I mean, it's really something that doesn't creep me out at all. What'd you say? There's something behind me? Alright, let's unbox this SD70MAC. Take a look at what you get here in the box. Locomotive warranty card. 1 year. Talks about the warranty in detail there. Athearn news flyer. Just a quick exploded parts diagram, and then now included is a manual. It's about 10 pages, covers warranty, sound, functions, which we'll go over, handling and maintenance, and configuration variables, also known as CVs. So we'll go ahead and unbox this for the first time. Slide it out. Athearn packaging hasn't changed. Nothing's changed in terms of Athearn packaging since the last review. There it is out on the platform, so let's take a closer look at the details. Alright, this is the BNSF scheme here with the swoosh logo. We'll start in the front, take a look at some details. You've got the snowplow here, McHenry couplers. There aren't MU hoses that you usually see on Genesis line. Not present here. Incandescent ditch lights above the anti-climber, handrails, plastic, cab door with window, little handle detail there that's molded on, separately applied grab irons. Handrails are nice thickness, still plastic, a little bit of give to them, or a lot of give depending on how hard you push. Sand filler hatches, nose mounted hand or grab iron. You've got the windshield wipers, which are very, very thin, prototypical looking. Incandescent headlights. Number boards do not light up. Grab irons up top here. Cab window sunshades. Going along the side here, you see jacking pad detail, you see truck detail, low mounted bell. You still have the stanchions that pop out a little bit. As I place this down in between takes, one of the stanchions popped out and back in. Some of them are glued in, some of them aren't. Seems like there's a couple loose ones. As we remember from earlier runs of Athearn, the stanchions would easily pop out. These aren't that bad, just a couple look like they missed the glue. Like this one right here, for example, is out and just kind of hanging above its hole. So a little bit of wave to the handrails here. You've got nice detail along the side. It's been shaded in a little bit on some of the intake vents to basically weather the locomotive or show a little grime. You've got lift ring detail that's very, very thin and accurate. You could probably barely see there. Right behind, right in front of this pointer. Exhaust, horn. You've got reflective striping along the side there. Yellow reflective striping that was mandated by the FRA. You've got the radiator fan grill area here. See-through up top, I'll show you that in a minute. You got safety tread on the walkways. And more of the same on the rear. Again, no MU hoses, you would have to add that yourself. Brake wheel on this other flip side here. And 9539, which is the road numbers alongside here. And pretty nice locomotive with some detail here, hatch detail. Dustbin hatch is right here. Dynamic brake fan back here, or up here I should say, and you have a Sinclair antenna, single Sinclair antenna mounted up top. Smooth roof otherwise, and that is about all we're going to cover on detail. The interior of the cab is detailed and does not include cab figures. Let's go ahead and move to operation. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and apply track power. I thought we had a DOA, a dead on arrival locomotive, but gremlins were under my layout and one of the wires disconnected. True story. So applying track power now, I fixed it. We're going to go through all the sounds listed in the manual here, starting with all the functions I should say, starting with F0. Looks like some horns are on, so let me turn those off. F0 does the headlight, nice incandescent bulb I will show you in the dark in a moment. F1 is bell. F2 is horn. F3 short horn. F4 is dynamic brakes. F5 and 6 handle lights. I'm checking the ditch lights. They do both illuminate. F6 is NA on this locomotive. F7 is the dimmer. That functions correctly. F8 is mute. Just test it to test it. Works. F9 is squeal release. F10 is coupler. F11 and 12 are listed, but they are steam only, so technically this decoder, in terms of the manual, has 10 functions. It may have some more functions hidden, and you can always mess with CVs. Alright, we're going one speed step. Crawling along nicely. Very smoothly, too. Two speed steps. Still smooth. I'm not seeing any hesitation. 3 speed steps. 4. And 5. Reverse. 1. Smooth. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Do something I don't always do. We'll mute it and you can listen to motor noise. Go in forward here. Quiet at 1. Move up to 4. Pretty quiet motor, just a tiny little hum. Gonna get nice and cozy and show you a quick view of this across this side here. Here's a quick look at the Kansas City Southern scheme. And as you can see, attached on that end is the pull tester. So we're going to be doing a pull test on this. And I'll check all 3 models, which I also have a Csx scheme to show you to make sure there's consistency, but we'll be doing all the tests on all 3 models, but I'll just be showing one. Looks like we capped out at 2.9. Here's the Csx Scheme. We're going to check the NMRA wheel gauge on this and the coupler height. All right, KD coupler height gauge. Looks like it's dead on the rear. Doesn't want to let go sometimes. And the front. Get that into your purview a little better. Looks like just a smidgen high. There you have it. And I'll check, like I said, the other locomotives as well. For that, let's quickly check the NMRA wheel gauge. Now, these are NMRA tools to check. If you have problems especially, these are good in diagnosing the problem here. Let's see if I can get this in screen. It's good, good, and good. And I'll check the front real quick. My fat hand is getting in the way. Good, good, and good. So all three sets of wheels on the front and back trucks are good. And at the end I'll report if any of these three locomotives were out of gauge on anything. Alrighty, here we're in my home office area. Gonna set this down. We have 18.3 ounces, 520 grams. That's 0.520 kilograms, or a little over a pound, almost a pound and a quarter. So 1 pound, 2.2 ounces. So there you have it. Looks like it dropped another ounce while I was waiting. I can't decide whether it's 18.2 or 18.3, but there you have the weight. I think that's a substantial increase over the first run of these. Well guys, that wraps up the review of the Athearn SD70MAC in a few different variations and schemes. I hope you enjoyed the review and got something out of it. I'll leave you with my final thoughts, which are the fact that there are a couple stanchions here or there on all three locomotives that pop out. Not a huge deal. MU hoses that aren't present. It's up to you on whether that's a big deal or not. All of this is really your interpretation because you're going to be buying these things or not. But I will say that the MSRP on these is $10 lower than most Athearn Genesis Sound locomotives, which are $299.98 of this size. So a little bit of wiggle room. I could understand the MU hoses maybe a little better than the stanchions. I still think they should glue each one of the stanchions in. Now, not as bad as early 2000s Athearn's Genesis line where they were popping out like an entire rows. Just had a couple stanchions pop out on all three. Now I test the NMRA wheel gauge, coupler height, pull test on and weight on all three schemes, even though I just showed you one, and all are pretty consistent. Nothing out of whack in the gauges specifically. Just a 0.1 ounce difference in some of the schemes' weights, but I couldn't tell if my scale was kind of freaking out like it was when I was doing the weigh in on screen. So nothing there inconsistent. Overall, pretty decent product, a pretty good product. You can get it for discounts available, online retailers, brick and mortar hobby shops, like I always say, where you're looking at the low 200s. So pretty good deal for a sound locomotive. Add some MU hoses and you're good to go if you want the full Genesis detail. But like I said, MU hoses weren't really included in this run. Not this guy again. Anyway, I'm going to leave you guys with a run-by of all three different schemes on three different areas of my layout. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care. What's your problem?